Hi, I'm Jackie Jones, Community Engagement Manager for Create Birmingham.
And I'm Jessica Moody. I am the Director of Programs and Operations for Create Birmingham.
And we are here to talk about a wonderful tool, a wonderful thing for our city, Birmingham365, which you find at Birmingham365.org.
Yes.
So before we get into showing everybody all the goodies, let's first talk about what is Birmingham365. What is this kind of purpose?
Birmingham365 is an online events calendar that's kind of serves a 60-mile radius of Birmingham. So basically every county that touches Jefferson County, you can post your events as long as they are open to the public with or without a fee. Basically that means you can't post your like high school graduation party on Birmingham365 or your like high school reunion on Birmingham365. So as long as kind of anybody can go, even if it's like an 18 and up sort of stuff, is open to the public with or without a fee. Can't really be a members only thing. But you can post it on Birmingham365. It is free to post and it is free to browse.
All right. So before, again, we're going to show you the beauty that is Birmingham365. But I do wonder, like, who should post their types of events? Like what?
Yeah. If you have something going on in Birmingham, you should be using this calendar. So we use it to populate our newsletter. So we post events in our weekly newsletter. But if you have something going on, whether it is a theater production, an art gallery opening, maybe you even have a pop-up for your business. I know we have a small business that has a lot of artists and makers coming into their space. So she uses it to kind of highlight those. All of those like makers markets, those ongoing theater productions, even if it is a long show that is up for months at a time, this is where you post it.
Cool. All right. Well, let's take a look at what Birmingham365 looks like in all of its glory.
Yes.
And if y'all see me look like that way in the screen, I'm trying to look at the other screen, so don't think I'm crazy. All right, so I'm going to kind of slow scroll down here just so everybody gets an idea of what we're looking at. You have our featured events here, and then here on the side, of course, you have a couple like hot buttons there. And then as you go down as well, we have some stories, and these are stories that we have here at Create that highlight different people in our community, creatives, all the things, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let us go back up here to the top. And of course, you can subscribe, and this goes to
our weekly newsletter.
What is Invest about?
So, as you may know, we are a nonprofit organization. So investing allows us to do a little bit more of what we do. So you can see a little bit of who some of our donors are, but then you can also make a tax deductible donation as well to Create Birmingham, and it allows us to continue doing the programs that we do for free.
Well, amen for free things.
All Thank you.
Let's go back. So let's jump right in. Like, so clearly you can see and you can go and you can scroll if you're looking for arts or stage, music, books, film. This kind of breaks it down, but you can go down here and just search for a particular thing.
Yeah, so you can do just search by keyword. So just maybe you're looking for theater production, so you could just search theater. But if you click advanced search, it'll open up and you can search by actual days. So maybe you're looking for something to do next weekend. So you can search for stuff coming up next Friday, whatever day that is. Yeah.
Or you can just do today, tomorrow, and like this weekend or
like next 14 days, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Cool. So let's just run like next 30 days with theater in there. Let's see what we get. Yeah. Boom. Look at all that.
Yeah, so we've got all that stuff coming up.
Oh, look, there's our location.
We have an event.
Like, so you know, Create Birmingham also use Birmingham365.
We do.
All right, so if we are wanting to put our things on this site in this beautiful place. And though it wasn't mentioned, I use this too as a small business owner if I'm having workshops or things like that. So let's talk about how you do this, right? Because this is a tutorial.
Yeah.
So we can either start up here at submit an event and go to login if you already have done this before, or you can register.
Yeah.
That button's also down here. So whichever way you want to get there. I'm going to go to login because I do have a login because I do this.
If you are unsure if you have a login, you probably do, but you can email that email address right there, Birmingham365 at createbirmingham.org, and we can search and make sure you have a login. If you as an organization have been submitting events, but maybe there is a new staff member and you don't have their login, we can also set you up with a new login, link that organization, all that kind of stuff. The beauty of having a login is that you can copy events from time to time, right? So if you're doing something on a weekly basis, you don't have to enter it manually every single time, right? You can hit copy, change the date, and move on. It saves yourself so much time.
Yeah, and just since you brought that up, I did go ahead and log in, and so I can go here to events, and this is like my events, and go to manage events here, and this is what she was just talking about, which I use all the time. And you can always go to past events, which there are 116, and then just copy it, and it's going to take everything over except like the image. And you can just fill in and change, which has been a lifesaver for me.
This is great if you are doing something that is the same thing, or it's maybe even at the same space every time. Yeah. So even if you it just saves yourself a lot of time.
Yes, it does. All right, well, let's jump in here. And of course, you can click around this all you want to. But before we move past this, classified?
So we have a new category. So classifieds are great if you are hosting auditions, maybe you even have a job opening, internship openings. These are great for anybody in the arts and culture sector. So it's not necessarily McDonald's is hiring, right? It's anybody that kind of falls in that creative sector who is hiring, whether it is part-time, full-time, or even internships. It's even great for hosting available space, space for rental. There's all sorts of stuff in there. If you click add a classified, I think it's got the categories.
Gotcha. If I am like looking for models or something, could I do that too? Cool. So I would put my name here. I would put my business or your organization, if it exists, in there. Let's see. There I am, right there. Boom. Yep. And then I could put all my address and such.
Yeah. And it'll hold it up so that there's like a deadline, or the date will be removed automatically, so you don't have to worry about going back and adding it or deleting it.
Here we go. Auditions, call for artists, funding opportunities, internships, jobs, professional development, studio space. Cool. Yeah. This is neat. And then I can add an image here, which this looks just like the event one, which is really convenient. We're going to walk through the event one kind of, because it's used a lot. And so we're going to walk through that one in more detail and kind of make a fake event. But this is really helpful to know that you can do this. So whether you're looking for something or you need to post that you have something, that you need to hire for or get people for, this is a great addition. Love it. All right, let's go over here to events and go to add new. Wait for it. All right. So let's make us an event. We are going to make our event called Build a Boat Test. Because then I will be able to quickly find it and remove it.
And delete it.
Yes. All right. So, and not to mention the competition here, but if you use Eventbrite at all, and you know how you have that kind of quick one sentence at the top, if you are also posting on Eventbrite, and I'm telling you, copy and paste is your friend. So this is our one sentence that this is a free, free virtual mini-con for entrepreneurs. Now listen, I'm not going to act like I can spell. You see this little green thing? That is Grammarly helping my life. Creatives and anyone.
Well, entrepreneurs is missing an R.
Yeah, well, there we go. Anyone to gain guidance insight, and encouragement as they seek to stop treading water and build something sustainable.
There we go.
Man, that's a strong sentence right there.
Once you publish this, that event summary will show up in bold.
Nice. All right. So then we go down here and we say more than the above.
Exactly. We're not making a lot
Right.
of
We're not going to do that.
I
But-
do want to reiterate, you don't want to duplicate the event summary, right? Or else we on the back end will end up deleting it. It shouldn't be the same sentence that is above, or else they'll sit right on top of each other. So it'll just look silly. So make sure you don't have to have an event summary. It's great if you just have a short little bold sentence. If you only have an event description, that's fine too.
Yeah. One thing I do like about this, and this is just like a pro tip if you're watching this, if you do have a lot that you want to say here, use these like different ways to format to help you if you want to link to other stuff. That's a good idea to do. So, pro tip right there. All right. So then you get to say whether your event is virtual, in person, or both. We're in a hybrid world as well. So you could say in person and say, that's the case. If it's virtual, then it'll change up the virtual event detail, what it looked like before. And then if it's both, right? So we're going to say that ours is
in person, just because. So we will put that little link in there, and we'll go to createbirmingham.org, type in. So again, I recommend, Jackie's good at it because she added that the S, but make sure it is helpful if you go and copy and paste that email address from somewhere else so that you know it is correct.
All right, and then down here.
Yeah, we'll add that registered organization. Go ahead and search. Make sure the organization is already in there. They often get duplicated. So search for the organization before you add it. If there's a co-presenter, for example, maybe it's Create Birmingham and 1 Degree Marketing, you can add that co-presenter as well.
Boom. All right.
And I think you can actually add up to 4.
Oh, that's helpful if you're doing collaborative things, which you should be. So what's next?
And then same thing. If you are not listed when you search, you can go ahead and click add new organization and type it. Don't click it right now though, because it'll mess everything up. There you go. And then same thing when you're doing a venue, you're going to want to search for the venue first. This is going to save you time because if you click add new venue, you're going to have to type in the address and everything. So go ahead and search and make sure that the venue is listed. If it is not, then you can click add new venue. And then you'll select a primary category. So build a boat, we can say classes and lectures maybe. And then you can add some other category types. You do not have to search or click all of them. The purpose of this is that you want to have, you want it to be like pretty accurate, right? So just because there are cookies and lemonade served does not mean it is eat and drink. It is not a culinary event just because there are cookies available. So you'll scroll through and select the ones that are applicable to you. Online and streaming is great for us. And then we would select some other stuff.
All right.
If you have some other tags that you want to start typing, so for example, we could type boat, we could type entrepreneur. You want to throw them in with some commas. But this is a lot. Remember when we were looking at
this word? Okay, sorry.
Remember when we were looking at the front side when we were searching on that in that search field? If you just wanted to search workshop, that way Build a Boat would show up. And then we'll go through dates and times. So you will put that initial start date. We'll pretend this is much further in the future. And then you also want to have an end date. So even if it is just one day, it's going to have an end day, which is the same. And then you'll select that day of the week. And so we'll say it is a Friday. and then you're going to click save dates before proceeding. So then it'll move forward and you can add those start times. A word to the wise, a cautionary tale, make sure that you're selecting on the start times, make sure you're selecting AM and PM correctly. We get a lot of people who add things from 11:30 p.m. to 12:30 p.m., and that's a very long event. So make sure that you're selecting AM correctly. And if it is because it pulls in that PM, if it's like 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., make sure you're going back and changing it to 11 a.m. so that's not 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Then you can click apply time to all dates. If you were doing a long event, so maybe it is an art gallery or showing or a theater production, you can go in and apply, like change that to a long, like maybe it's months long. But you can say what days the gallery is open. You can even go back and if it is a theater production, you could go back and change so that there are individual show times for each day. You can actually click on Saturday and add an individual show time. But you can start with apply all, or you can add those as well. And then if there are any additional time information, so this is great for anything like doors open at 6, or there's a 30-minute intermission, or there's a Q&A for an hour after, or join us afterwards for a cocktail hour, anything relating to time, what time you want people to show up, what time you want them to leave, what they should be prepared for, anything related to time you can put right here. So put all of that there. And then you can add, there's other ticket information, admission, all of that kind of stuff is down here. So you can type that. That's where you would say it's free to the public. VIP tickets are X dollars. Anything related to ticket information goes right here. And then wherever you want them to buy tickets, again, link. I, again, recommend that you copy and paste that ticket URL and put it here. And then don't put your email or phone if you don't actually want them to email and call you to get tickets. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to fill it out. And then from here, you'll want to upload an image. I recommend a square image because that's what it looks like on the homepage. So you will upload an image and then move forward. If you have a video, you can also link that. So if you have an example of the theater production or a musical production, then you could add that YouTube or Vimeo kind of link and go on from there. If you have a photo credit or a caption, you can also enter that up there as well. We don't have a video link, so we don't necessarily have to. If you have a featured artist, you could pull that in, but we don't. So don't worry about it. The contact information, this is not, does not appear to the public. This is if we have questions. So it gives us a way to contact you if we have a question. And so we've got most of our information. Our ticket link is wrong, so we can crop that out or cut that out. And then you can proceed to preview. If you, for some reason, get a phone call and you cannot move on, you can also save this as a draft so you can come back. This is what it basically looks like to the public. So you can see that little, the little tiny clip where we said a free virtual mini-con, which will actually be bold when the public looks at it. So you can review all your information, make sure your email addresses are right, make sure your times are correct, make sure we don't have a weird like 1 p.m. to 3 a.m. sort of thing. And we've got all of that sort of stuff, and then you can submit it.
Okay, do not forget to delete this because it is so ridiculous.
And you actually get approved automatically.
Just me.
Yeah.
Just me.
I will say that if you submit regularly and you know how to use grammar,
or Grammarly,
or use Grammarly, then we actually have an option for going ahead and bypassing pending approval. That way you can submit an event. You don't have to wait for us. It's a time saver for us. It's also a great time saver for you. So that will pull up automatically. And normally, though, if you don't bypass pending approval, then you can expect it to be approved in about 3 to 5 business days. So I will say, don't submit something on a Thursday if it's happening on Saturday. For one reason, we use it to populate our newsletter, so you want it up there for a while so people can search for it. So you want people to be able to find it, right? It's not helpful if it's only up there for 2 days, but it also won't get approved very quickly. So yeah, you can find all of that there. And if you search build a boat, then you should be able to find it.
Oh, that's like
There's the
actual
real one.
I know. There I am.
Our test one is a little further down. Yeah. But see
And
how
so
quick
you
that
can
paragraph it
see
was?
how it shows up. And then we can click on it. And there's your bold right there. There's our information. And so this is what they see. It has the dates that I put on there, all that kind of fun stuff, all our broken down times where we broke it down, what time you have to get out, all that kind of stuff. And then you have a map to get there if it's in person, which is pretty cool. And then other things from you.
Yes.
So
which is one thing I love.
Yeah.
Is that if somebody stumbles upon it, they end up being able to see other things that you're doing. You can also click, our fake event is happening at Vulcan Park, so you can actually click on Vulcan Park and see if there are other things happening there, if they have any other upcoming stuff. And that's, but you can read more about their location and that kind of stuff. Yeah. They've got our fake event, and then they've got some other stuff, but you can also see past things that they've done as well.
Cool. Anything else we want to show here? And of course, if you have questions, you can always reach out and ask. Or when that email address that's there when you either log in or register, that's where you can make direct contact. But yeah, anything else that we need to mention here before we
The only other thing I'll mention is so Birmingham365 also populates the Convention and Visitors Bureau's calendar. So when people are looking to come to Birmingham, staying in hotels, all that kind of stuff, the CVB has their own events calendar, and it is powered by Birmingham365. So if you want your events to show up on their website or in the programs or guidebooks that they put in all of the welcome centers, then you're going to want to add your stuff to Birmingham365 because that's how they populate those.
That is such great information. Like,
right?
It's a big deal. Especially
people visiting Birmingham and you want them to come to your theater production.
Yeah.
That's
a big deal. And I say that because, as today's date is and what year we're in, we have like the World Games coming and all this different stuff that's happening and so many visitors for like USFL stuff and all this different stuff that's just happening around us. And if people are like, oh, what else can I do while I'm there?
Right.
Why not have your stuff?
Yeah. So they are encouraged to visit that website, which is populated by our stuff. If you're interested in also having a calendar on your website of upcoming events, we can also, that's something else that we can do. So the CVB has a calendar that is populated based on zip code. We can create calendars. So Create Birmingham, if you go to our website and click events, it's everything that Create Birmingham is putting on. So we can also do calendars based on venues. So everything that is happening at some place. We can do everything that is presented by certain people. We can do calendars based on just specific categories. So all music events, all theater events, that kind of stuff. But we can create something like that for you as well.
Yeah. Anything we need to mention that's left. And honestly, it's very user friendly. You pretty much just click and fill in and click and fill in. And you know that you can always come to Create for any questions that you have or, use that email address. That's going to be the best way. But anything else we need to mention before we head out?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, Birmingham365, there you have it. Make sure you use it both on the back end.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're out of here.
Thank you.
Bye.